Hi everyone, my name is Zach. This is going to be a short Hatha yoga practice, all based on the hands and knees tabletop position. So let's get started. You can begin by coming onto a hands and knees position on the mat. If your knees are a little sensitive, you can always feel free to place a blanket on the floor, and that can be helpful, and that can just stay there throughout the practice today. Otherwise, you can set it aside. So come into this hands and knees position. Check that the hands feel under the shoulders and that the knees feel under the hips. May need to adjust slightly here. Come into a neutral spine position, the back of the neck in line with the rest of the spine. And let's begin. Exhale, release the head down, arch the back up. Inhale and release the abdomen, gazing forward, beginning these cat-cow movements. Exhale and continue. You can follow the pace of your own breath here. And feel as if the movements themselves are initiated by the breath. Warming up the vertebra, moving synovial fluid through each of the vertebrae. And on the next exhale, return to that neutral spine position. You can have a little side-to-side loosening movement. And on the next inhale, extend the right arm and the left leg out, parallel to the floor, extending. Exhale and release down. And now the other side, the left arm, right leg lift and extend, lengthening out. Exhale and release down. Once more each side. Inhale the right arm and left leg. You can lift a little this time. Exhale and release down. Inhale the left arm and right leg. Lengthen and lift a little. Exhale and release down. Now, consciously move side to side through the shoulders and hips. Allow your inner dog to express itself. When both sides feel even, come back to center. Inhale the left arm up towards the ceiling, opening up, and exhale to slide that arm under the right, coming to the outside of the cheek. That right hand can stay right where it is. It can extend overhead or wrap behind the low back. Relax through the neck and shoulder. Place that right hand back down beside the face and return to hands and knees. Other side. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale and slide it under the left arm. Completely relaxing onto the side of the head. And that left hand can extend or come behind the low back. Soften the neck and relax the shoulders. Place the left hand down beside the face again and lift onto hands and knees. From here, step the right foot forward, coming into a small lunge position, and let the torso start by resting down on that right thigh. The palms are flat, and there's a little weight from the torso moving down through the thigh, encouraging the hips forward and down. And now inhale, lift onto the fingertips, lift through the spine. Exhale and step that right leg back, hands and knees. Inhale the left foot forward now. And again, start with the palms flat, the torso resting down, exhaling fully and releasing through the pelvis. Inhale to lift onto the fingertips, extend through the spine. Exhale that left leg back, hands and knees. Curl the toes now and we'll lift into a gentle downward facing dog, hips high. The knees can be bent or eventually make their way towards a straight position. You can bend into one knee and then the other, releasing through the calves. Lower your knees and then the chest between the hands, chin coming to the floor. Sliding forward, lowering the hips and lifting the head, neck, and chest. Exhale to hands and knees, and then lifting the hips into downward facing dog. And we'll do that once more. Lower down the knees, the chest between the hands, and then the chin. Relax. Lower the pelvis, slide forward and lift, head, neck, and chest, curling up. Exhale onto hands and knees, and then the hips lift downward facing dog. Allow the head to relax. It can turn side to side. Lower the knees down, hands and knees. Lower the knees down, hands and knees. And now lift onto a high kneeling position. So walk the hands back and come to be on the knees. Take a time to feel balanced side to side and let the weight sink down into the floor. And let's start, there's a few options we'll be exploring here. Let's start by inhaling the right arm up, lengthening through that side, and bending slightly to the left. Relax the left side. Inhale to rise, lower the right arm, and lift the left. Bending to the right, relaxing through the right arm. Lift up and lower the left arm down. Now inhale both arms up, lengthening up. And begin to gently arch back, pressing down through the shins and forward through the thighs, lifting. Exhale, coming up and lowering the arms. Now the hands coming to the low back. Focus on a lengthening out of the low back, a spaciousness and an expansiveness through the low back as opposed to just crunching. Focus on a lift. So press down through the knees and shins, lift up, and begin to arch gently back, the elbows coming towards one another, maintaining a concentration on lengthening through the spine. Inhale and lift up once more. Relax the arms for a moment. We'll do that once more. So hands can start at the low back and coming just as far as feels good for you. Inhale to lengthen up. Begin to arch back, maybe just a little, maybe a little further. If you're really feeling good, you can even release the hands all the way back to the heels. Lifting up through the chest, pressing forward through the thighs. On an inhale, lift the torso up, relax the arms, sit the hips back over the heels. Pause here. And then release the torso forward into a child's pose. Forehead coming down. Lengthening the hands forward. Begin to lift the hips, curling the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale and lift the right leg out and up, bending that knee forward and placing it between the hands for a pigeon pose. Lengthen the back leg out. Take time here. You can even rock a little side to side to find that neutral, balanced position. If you have a blanket or pillow available, you may like to place that under the right side of the hips. Press down through the hands to arch back. On an exhale, begin to walk the hands forward. Consider pausing on the forearms. If it really feels called to you to release the full chest and torso down, feel free to do so, but consider pausing at the forearms, maybe a little more gentle on the muscles in the low back through the hips. Steady breaths, allowing the abdomen to release. Allow the back of the neck to be neutral and soft. And if you're still with me on the forearms, you can extend the arms all the way forward, release the forehead down. Pressing down through the hands, begin to lift the torso upright. From an upright position, exhale and twist very gently to the right. It may only come a little bit, that's fine. A gentle rotation to the right, and then release to center. Press through the hands and step back, downward facing dog. And now for the other side. Inhale the left leg out and up. Bend the left knee and bring it forward, releasing it down between the hands. If you had a prop on the other side, a blanket or a pillow, can adjust that to this side. Start with the hands down, lifting up through the torso, arching back gently. Exhale and walk the arms forward. Consider pausing once more on the forearms. It may be a little more easeful through the hips and low back. And there can still be an inner sense of lengthening out through the spine. The jaw and the tongue are soft. With every exhale, release a little bit further. If you're still on the forearms, you can come all the way down to the forehead. Pressing onto the hands. Walk them back to lift the torso. And when the torso is upright, exhale and twist to the left, remaining comfortable through the hips, only coming as far as feels appropriate in your body. Returning to center, lifting the hips, curling the toes, downward facing dog. Lowering to the knees now, placing the hands directly under the shoulders. Any props can go to the side. Now you can bring the knees forward a little, sit back on the heels into a kneeling position. Take the hands behind the low back. If you do have a prop, you may like to place it between the sits bones and the thighs. The thighs and the calves. Take hold of one wrist with the other hand. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, release forward. Forehead coming all the way down. Completely relax. On the next inhale, slowly let it lift you upright. Release the hands to the lap. If you need to adjust at all for comfort, feel free to do so. Otherwise, stay as you are, and we'll close our eyes for a brief minute of relaxation and meditation. You can focus on the gentle rhythm of the breath, or on a mantra if you have one, or any other one-pointed practice that you have to help focus the mind on an uplifting object. Om. Om. You can bring your hands together at the heart. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you all for joining for this short practice. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Om Shanti.